So I was gonna write some stuff out. I was gonna write some stuff out, and I still can. But what I really want to do, if I possibly can, I want to get questions. If you are a woman over 30 years old and you've been through a heartbreak, or you want your love mended, you ready for your love phase of your life? This broadcast is for you. If you do not want love, if you do not care about love, if you don't want a person, if you don't care about that, if that's not on your radar, this is not for you. But I also want to say this. If you don't want to reach your absolute highest height, don't focus on a relationship. Because relationships, when people are together, statistically, they do better. Financially, they reach goals easier. They're happier. They live longer. People in relationships. If you try to compete as a single person with a person who is with their spouse and they're in harmony, you will lose every single time. And the reason you will lose is because the mastermind that the two people create with each other is stronger than your little brain. It's stronger than your individuality. Here's a couple reasons why couples make more money and are more successful and happier than single people. Here's another thing about it. When you wake up, because this is what I got. And everybody who's married, they feel the same way. Everybody who got their person, they feel the same way. You can tell they're more mature. You can tell they're more grounded. You can tell that they have a deeper confidence. They have more focus because they don't have to focus on the women in their life or the men in their lives. They always have it together a little bit more. Why? Because they're with somebody who stabilizes them, who gives them harmony and cohesion. That goes for man and woman. Now, I'm going to tell you, most people's minds today, especially women, if you're single and you're over 30 years old, this is for you. And you want a relationship. Have you ever thought, what if nobody will accept me the way that I am at this phase of my life? Have you ever thought that or worried about that? Have you ever thought, is it even enough time to find the right person? Are all the best ones taken? Have you ever thought about that? If you thought about that before, that's actually a reasonable fear. Because if you don't get better, if you don't start to change, I want you to ask yourself, if you stayed exactly as you are, what is the likelihood that you would create better relationships in the future? If you stayed exactly as you are and you don't change. If you don't change anything, what kind of relationships will you create with men in the future? You answer that question for yourself. I don't know the answer to the question, but I want you to think about the answer to the question. Now, I remember when I wanted a relationship. Point blank, that's what I wanted. I wanted a relationship. Nobody was going to tell me that I wasn't having a relationship. I wanted one. And what I did when I wanted a relationship is I focused all of my attention on the relationship. I said, my relationship is the number one factor in my life. Most people don't think of it like that. That's how I think of it. My relationship is the most important factor in my life. Why? Because it makes me feel the best. I want to feel good. The number one thing is me. I have to be in alignment with myself. Yes. Second, it is the person I'm with. Period. It is my girl. It is our relationship. Period. If you want a man to think like that, you're not going to find him on a regular, normal, sunny day. Because most men do not think like me. So I'm just putting you on game. I'm just putting you on game. I want you to realize most men don't think like me. I wanted love. I deliberately wrote it down and asked for it. It's what I wanted. I was focused on it. Most men are not like me. Most men, when they get into their 30s, for the first time ever, some of the results are coming in. They starting to get paid a little bit more money. They starting to dress better because now they know themselves a little bit better. They care less about what their friends think. So they're more confident and they take more risk. So they bring in even more money. And since the workplace is designed for a man to boost his testosterone, which lowers stress, and it's made to boost testosterone in women, which raises stress, he's coming home feeling good because he coming off work. And the later in stages in life, the feminine woman who was born feminine but had to learn to be the masculine, she's starting to burn out. And the reason she's starting to burn out is because she's going to work every day and her estrogen levels are dropping and her testosterone levels are slowly raising. Now, when this older woman's testosterone starts to raise, she starts to repel masculine men. She starts to repel. There's no chemistry, there's no spark, there's no energy there for a relationship. The best that she can settle for at this point is an arrangement, which says, you're my roommate, I'm your roommate. We do sometimes, only when we need it, but this is an arrangement, and that's as far as that will go for her. So that's what happens over time in a woman's body. So I want you to think about this. So if women, the longer they're exposed to going to work, have higher stress levels as years go on, and men who are exposed to work, who start winning and succeeding, their stress levels go down and their motivation and inspiration and power and energy goes up, what happens as your age gets older in your relationship? You naturally become less attractive to masculine men if you don't keep your estrogen levels up. Now, when I say estrogen levels, I'm not, by the way, it's in the book called, if you want to know where this research is put together the best, it's in Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Beyond Mars and Venus is the book. And I can post a link. If you go follow my YouTube right now, I'm posting all links there to the books, okay? So go follow my YouTube right now as we're watching this. So it's called Love, Magic, and Manifesting, by the way. Now, if you are a woman and you're in your 30s, what's happening, especially if you're in the workplace, you are becoming, your testosterone levels are raising. Your estrogen levels are tapering off. We both become masculine, biological masculine men have to have 10 times more testosterone to reduce stress than women. Women have to have 10 times the amount at minimum. Estrogen, I'm talking biological woman. 10 times the amount of estrogen biologically to lower her stress. So women lower stress through estrogen producing activities. What are estrogen producing activities? Talking and sharing your feelings is an estrogen producing activity. If a biological man starts to talk about his feelings, his estrogen goes up, his testosterone comes down, or the levels of testosterone and estrogen start to balance wrong. They start to get closer together rather than further apart. Testosterone is supposed to be high, estrogen is supposed to be at its level in a man. Estrogen levels high, testosterone at its level in a woman, biologically. But what happens over time is that changes. Men's estrogen goes up, women's testosterone goes up. So they stop being magnetically attracted to each other. This is why you'll see sometimes older men are demagnetized. Some of them are still got the energy and they're magnetic to the opposite sex. You'll see that. They are magnetic to it. But some men lost their energy. They lost that line. They lost something. You don't know what it is, but they lost it. This happens to men after they had kids and they're in the house more. This happens when men get an older age. They lose some kind of energy that you just have when you're younger. Your testosterone's out of the roof. This is the kind of men you need. A man, if you want a man to be to put you in your feminine, if you want that, you are gonna have to change your polarity. your magnetism. So what that means is you have to raise your estrogen levels. How do you do that? You have to talk about your feelings. That means vulnerability. Vulnerability, practiced vulnerability with the right people. And you got to risk getting hurt, because that's how you become vulnerable. You cannot be safe and vulnerable at the same time. Vulnerability is a key component to you making yourself open to a man, to a masculine energy, a dominant masculine energy, or whatever masculine you want. You have to become open to the masculine, because the masculine, when you open to the masculine identifies you, knows you, smells you like blood in the water. He coming to you. All of them coming to you, and they're coming to discover what they want to see. They seeing, they're looking for themselves. They want to see if they're connected, because I'll tell you, every man at the core would like his woman. He would like that woman. He's not concerned with it because he looked in the past. This is how the man's mind think. He looked to the past and he go, every single time I lost my focus and my purpose, and I started to focus on women, things went wrong. So I'm not going to do that no more. So when you meet the guy, he's going to be a lover and be open to you because he's a lover. But what he's not going to do is he's not going to give his full self and his attention and make you the priority over what he's called to do in his life, because he's made that mistake a couple times before. So you see a man who's on his purpose and in his direction. What happens when that man is in his direction, he realizes, if he's at that stage, he realizes the only way he can reach his highest masculinity, his transcendent masculinity, is by taking care of a woman. In some way, meeting her needs at the deepest level. He can't feel his top masculine satisfaction without taking care of a woman. Now, if you're the kind of woman who cannot be taken care of because you take care of yourself, you're independent, and you can't be taken care of, you don't want in any way, not even emotionally, you're going to have a challenge attracting these men. Are y'all following me? Are y'all understanding me? As I'm going through this, I'm just giving you plain old game. Okay? It's biological. So, you sharing your feelings. I'll tell you a story. My mom, she was having challenges sharing her feelings. She could call me and tell me what she feels, and I'm going to encourage her to share that with him, or just sit with that for yourself, but share that with your man. Why? Because the more vulnerable you are to the correct person, especially the correct masculine man, the more he understands the assignment and responds. So, a masculine cannot identify if the feminine needs him or not unless she shows him the need for him. So, if you're not able to show vulnerability where you need him and you can't fill the gap yourself, and it's important and it's valuable to you, and you will feel good if he can fulfill it, and only he can fulfill it, he will take that up as his honor and carry it around with it's not even with pride. He will just carry it with confidence and certainty, and he will feel good to carry whatever burden you're giving him, because it's not a burden if he would like to do it. See, that's the thing about masculine. When you understand a masculine, we like to tackle things that can't be tackled. Have you ever seen a boy? Have you ever seen a teenage boy? He wants to throw his body into things and other people. That's what they want to do. We want to wreck into each other. Okay, that's what we want to do. We would like to throw ourselves at a problem and make it be gone. So if we can fill a gap for you, and we notice that the masculine can fill a gap for you, you will become fulfilled physically and mentally. You already have to be fulfilled spiritually. But mentally, you have a lacking part of you, which is the opposite polarity. You are lacking because you have to be one or the other. In energy, you have to be more masculine or more feminine. Even if it's for a day, even if you're bisexual, you're more masculine for a second. Or maybe even Y'all just slightly on the other side. But somebody's more masculine and somebody's more feminine. Even if it's by slight numbers. So you have to recognize the masculine, and then you have to recognize the biological masculine. It's two different things. So the biological masculine man has to have 10 times more testosterone to lower his stress levels in his life. That means he has to tackle problems and get paid for it. And get a reward for it for him to feel good, because that boosts testosterone. The feminine needs to raise estrogen to reduce stress, specifically to reduce stress. If you're in a high stress state, what kind of thoughts are you going to think? What kind of behaviors are you going to engage in? What kind of things happen that you don't want to happen when you're stressed out? You get snappy, you get short with people, you don't really want to be around them, you're annoyed, agitated, rolling your eyes, needing to walk out of the building, okay? When you're irritated, when you're in a more negative state. So you're gonna have to get your vibration up. Get the vibration up. You gotta get the vibration up. That means you have to learn how to be happy. This is the number one key. Every single man in the world, it doesn't matter who you want, you will open yourself up to the highest quality man if you do one thing. If you get happy. I'm telling you, masculine men love happy women. Healthy masculine men love happy women. And especially if we are contributing to her happiness. As a matter of fact, if a feminine, biological feminine woman is already happy, the smallest gesture makes her exponentially happier than if a woman with low happiness gets the same gifts. Let me give you an example. A rose. Roses don't mean anything if you're upset. It's actually annoying. Give me a Rolls Royce. That's really the thought. Okay? Alright? But if you already happy and you get a rose, this just added on to your already happiness. It's like, look, the universe keeps giving me blessings. Thank you. And you're even happier. It amplifies. So this is how the masculine and feminine interact. So understand what I'm trying to convey. If you are a woman in your 30s and you are on that love path, you're like, this is my time for love. These are the things that you're going to have to overcome. You're going to have to overcome the habit of keeping things to yourself and figuring it out by yourself. You're going to have to overcome that. That means you're going to have to overcome the chemicals that get released in your body that make you feel that. Because your body is calling for the chemical, for the independence chemicals. Because you're so used to being independent and doing it alone. So it craves that self-reliance. That's actually a chemical gets released in the body. Self-reliance. I can do this. It feels good. Okay, that's good. But this is the challenge. Your identity is wrapped up in I can do it. And if you're not doing it, your identity's threatened. You don't know who you are if you're not doing it. So now you have to do it. And now a man is a threat because he's taking away your ability to be significant to yourself. And he's taking away your ability to be independent. So subconsciously, you don't like him right now. And that is a vibration. And he picks that up. And then little things happen. Little tiny things that would never be a problem come up as problems now because we detect something suspicious. I don't know who you're trying to control or what you're trying to do, but no, that's not how this is going to go. Boundaries get set. You're crossing boundaries. You hit boundaries now. So now y'all hitting up against each other's boundaries. It get to the point sometimes where it's like, I was peaceful. I'm going to remain peaceful. And the man will walk off into his peace. It won't take that long either, especially if he's clear. So now here it comes, it falls all apart. Why did it fall apart? It fell apart because the way it was put together. It was put together on half-hearted ideals, half-hearted understanding, half-hearted commitment to the job, half-hearted commitment to understanding who you are, half-hearted commitment to following your gut instinct and what you feel, half-hearted commitment to your heart. That's where it came from. So now you can look at it and see, this is a mistake. I took actions based on my thinking and not my resonance. See, I didn't say heart. Reason I didn't say heart is because it's mistaken with feelings. Resonance. I didn't follow my resonance, my resonator. When something goes, ooh, yeah, that's the yes. And if it's like, no, doesn't do it, that's a no. And there we go for most people. That's enough right there. Follow that gut instinct. But you didn't do that. You thought about it. You let your mind trick you into doing your old patterns, and you recognized it as something they were doing, not you. So now here's another man doing the same thing again. I'm tired of being disappointed. I'm actually just going to cross men off the list. I'm going to focus on my bag because getting the bag is easier and the man may come down the road. But the bag is in my control, so I'm going to focus on that business. I'm going to build this business and be happy build my business at least. Then Mr. Right can come. See, sometimes it take that. You got to release. You got to actually be doing something else. Like, all right, I'm just going to focus on something else. I'm going to be happy. And then you be happy, and here they come. But you got to give it up totally. You got to give up on your dreams in a lot of ways. You got to give it up. Like, if I don't have it, I'm going to still be happy, whatever. Once that moment happens, it can come in. Until that moment happens, it can't come in. So you're not happy without the person. That means you'll never be happy inside. And that means you can't attract a happy person because you're unhappy without this person. So right now you're unhappy. That means you're vibrating unhappiness, and unhappiness does not attract a happy man. You only can attract a secretly unhappy man or an overtly unhappy man. But either way, he's going to be unhappy because you're unhappy, or because you have unhappiness in you that vibrates. But if you have happiness that vibrates in you, you're going to bring a man to you who's inwardly very happy. That's what happens. So now two happinesses come together, and happiness is the number one most important thing, and that is the number one thing you focus on. So both of you focus on happiness, not you need to change in order for me to be happy. No, I'm focused on creating my own happiness. That's my number one focus because it matters so much to me that I've decided to take control of that part of my life. Yes, I did. This is important to me. You see? So if you are a feminine biological woman on here, how many women over 30? What's your age? Put 20 plus, 30 plus on here. 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus. Put the number in here. Don't be shy. Hey, and I will say this. If you are an older woman, you also have to understand your advantages. You got to understand your advantages. Your advantages are you know yourself. The more time you spend with yourself, the more you know yourself. So when you are in a later age and you are maturing and you are getting refined like fine wine, okay? When that happens, you have an advantage to somebody who has that acquired taste. You understand? If somebody has acquired a taste for something and then it becomes scarce and rare and you are still what you are, because of the generations we come from, we have uniqueness. All right? So Gen X has a uniqueness that millennials don't. Millennials have a something that everyone else doesn't. Gen Z has a little something that everyone else doesn't. And that is who you truly are. The benefit of who you truly are is it has a unique generational tone to it, which makes you more resonant with people of a certain type of generation. So it's a resonance that a 19-year-old, a 22-year-old can't have if you're 40, and this man has an acquired vibrational taste for certain qualities for his generation. It's just the likeness in him. So he has an advantage. You have an advantage. You might say, well, all the other women of my class are the same way. Okay, but how many of them keep up with themselves? How many of them keep liking themselves more? How many of them are maturing well? How many? Because the truth is, not many people keep doing it. Not many people started in the first place. But secondly, most people don't keep doing it. So if you start working to be happy, if you start to do that right now, and you start raising, you do that by raising your estrogen levels, by the way. And we got a group. The group is free. It costs no money. You will be able to talk to other people who feel like this, who understand this energy with you. That's going to raise your estrogen levels because you're going to have community. That's how it works. Okay? If you want that, just message me. But if you are over 30, I'm telling you, it's the best time for you. Reason why it's the best time for you is because, like I said, you have resonance and you have navigation skills. You know how to navigate a man's mind better. You've had experience. So you know what you like and you know what you don't like. You understand the man's mind to a degree that others don't. So here's what you can do now. You can take a nice big step over the pile of poop that you used to step in all the time. And now everybody else is playing in the poop and you over the poop. And you know what to look for because you know what not to look for. You have experienced the worst of the worst. So you know exactly what they're like. And you know what not to have. So when you see something that's unique and different, you're going to be able to recognize it and give it the proper attention and the proper energy when it comes around. You'll just have a resonance to it. And this man is going to want only you somehow. And he's going to be that guy for you. And you're not going to be confused. You're going to know it's them. It will be clear as day. That's what's going to happen. So I'm asking you to make it happen for yourself. Get the estrogen levels up. Join the group. Your estrogen levels will go up. It does not cost anything. Learn with and communicate with people who are also doing the same. When you get around other people who have very good relationships, which I have very good relationships. My girl has incredible relationships. Okay? Incredible relationships. Get around people who have incredible relationships. You will be the next one to have incredible relationships. To people who have incredible relationships, they don't see people who have negative energy. They just don't go around them. To people who don't have good energy, they can't even find a single person with good energy anymore. It's like, where are all the good people? They're all hanging out in bunches together. That's what's happening. You have to raise your vibration to change the bunch you hanging around with. Everybody hang out in bunches. It's called likeness bunches, okay? You hanging around, look at the people you hang around. Just take a note right now. Stop, back up, and be like this. I wonder what's the top 5 people I hang around. Think about this. Really think about this. And then, that means online. That means in person, on the phone. Who do you communicate with the most? Take a look at that person and feel that person's energy and say, would I like that person's energy? Do I like that person's energy? If you don't, you're getting it. If you do, you're getting it. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's getting in your mind. Okay, that's what we try to explain. You get things in your mind accidentally. It's called subconscious. So it accidentally gets it. The subconscious mind is sticky. So whoever is around, their thoughts get sticky in there. And when it sticks in there, it becomes, you think it's your thoughts. When you think it though, it becomes your life. So when you accidentally think somebody else's thought, there are no men left. All the men are gone. Yep, I did that before. See, who is that? Gossip. Nope, I never would. That wouldn't happen to me. Those thoughts become, when you think them for the first time, you may hear them and be like, nope, that's not my thoughts. Get them out. And they'll go away. But you think about it a lot. So that now you think the thought. When you think the thought, it becomes your body. And then you think the thought again. The second time it's easier. And you keep hearing it, so you keep thinking it. Now it is you. Now you walk around like, see, it was true. I was listening to a podcast the other day, just talked about him. Why you keep finding him? Why you keep finding that guy? I don't find girls like that. It's other women who don't find men like that. How come you keep finding these guys? Where are they coming from? They're coming from a vibration. It's stuck. You have stuck vibration. One of the things is you're working. Your estrogen levels are going lower. You are in masculine dominated and masculine incentivized environments when you're at work. So it incentivizes testosterone boosting. It does not incentivize estrogen boosting. You get stressed the longer you stay at work, and even if you do achieve successfully, it still stresses you out. You need to raise estrogen in order to lower stress. It's the only way for a biological woman. If you're a man and you go to work and you achieve, your stress goes through the floor, focus goes out the roof, and you want to do more of whatever that activity is, and you have more energy to do it. So you can double the amount of work that you do when you come home. So now you bring work to home. And this is why men go in a tunnel, and because they work is so absorbed, it's all absorbing. It's a single-minded focus. It feels so good to focus on. And when they come home, they're like, I want to just keep doing this thing that lowers my stress levels, which is work and achieving and getting rewards for it. And his girl is over here like, where's my attention? This is what I live for. Where's my attention? I want attention. And she start whining and complaining on him. Then that makes him want to do the work even more. Because he's like, I can't even understand her brain. She's thinking about 4 topics at the same time. And when she starts talking about all 4 of these things that she keeps up with, I'm still stuck on one. I'm trying to figure out what the end of this story is. But she just went to 3 other ones. I can't even understand her. My mind is stressed too. I quit. I'm about to go to my man cave. And then he leave and he goes somewhere else and he's by himself. And it's like, wow, why is this so peaceful? I went to work today. I love my girl. We're supposed to be around each other all the time. I went to work today. I was like, why is this so peaceful? And I'm working. It was because I was working. There's nobody. Her dad, that's who I was working with. He's not talking because he's a man. I'm not talking because I'm a man. And we are fine. We said maybe like 30 words total. It was perfect words too. We just learned it. We didn't have to say so much because we are out raising our testosterone. Our stresses is low. We're earning. It felt good. That's what it does. Now, it don't matter how I twist it. If I was a biological woman and did the same work and I still earned, I would come home and be burned out. I would be tired. I couldn't do this video. I wouldn't be having the energy. Whenever I go to work, my energy just boosts up. It feels good. I'm accomplishing and I'm getting rewarded. That boosts my testosterone. It feels good. You are a biological woman. By doing that for years, you are getting more tired. You're getting tired. You won't be able to do it forever in your soul. Some will, but most will not be able to do it because of your biology. Not because of what you identify as, because of your biology. Okay? So, how do you raise estrogen? It's just simply doing the feminine things. What does that mean? It doesn't mean cooking and cleaning. Okay? It also doesn't mean take a bubble bath and do a facial. Although that definitely can make you feel better and raise estrogen. So yes, it does. But what we're talking about is having open and vulnerable feeling conversations. Say how you feel. Complain about your day if that's as far as you can go, but do it with the right people, okay? But complain about your day and say the feelings you felt in the day. Say the feelings that it gave you. The feelings. And just spill the feelings out. Talk them all the way out. Get them moving, get them going. Okay? Say them. Say what scared you. Say what you feeling, what you can't do, what you may not be able to do, what's on your mind. Say everything. Get the feelings out. Why? It raises your estrogen levels. And when the man learns how to listen, that's not easy. But you can teach a man how to do anything. You can train us like dogs, I'm telling you. When a man listens to you, train a man to listen, he's not going to do it right every single time, but he's going to do it sometimes. And when he does it, you're going to feel good. Because you're going to be talking, and he's going to be listening. For the first time probably ever in your life, he's going to be actually listening. And you're going to like that. And he just, after you're done, he going to rub your back. And whatever else is history. But you get it. That's a blessing for most women in this world, for feminine women. To just be heard, seen, listened to, and made to feel safe, to be who they are, feel how they feel, just feel totally safe. A masculine safety. In my experience, very high quality women love that, and because they don't get it. If it's a man on here, you just got the game. I just gave you game. It ain't a game. It's being a human, being cognizant of her experience. Women love to be heard, seen, recognized, and listened to, actually. Considered to be a human being. Now, they also like magnetic attraction, so we can't X that out. That's first. You have to be magnetically attractive. You have to have energy for life, not for her, for life.
Ooh, thank you for that.
Got to be clear, right? Mm-hmm. Got to be clear on that. You have to have energy for life, a purpose. Like, this is my shit. I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. You have to have it. It's yours. This is your whole thing. Then the woman comes into your life and gets tethered in somehow. Because divine. Okay? That's the way it should happen. When that happens like that, man, everything is about to be perfect. It already is, but everything about to be perfect. So, understand that. You have to be passionate about life already. If that's the case, you own your purpose. You know exactly what you're doing and where you're going. You know your mission and purpose in life, and you're doing it. When I tell you you are the most attractive man in the world, damn near, you don't even know. You have no idea. You're not even, because you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention because you're doing something. Like, you're in the middle of being the best in the world. Like, you're in the middle of something. That's when you're the most attractive. People just look at you like, what? You see people's eyes looking at you when you're in this mode, whether it's a day or a week, months or years. You know what it's like. People looking at you and they want to be around you. That's the masculine, powerful energy. That's that magnetism. That's that fire. That energy. It makes the perfect girl come to you. I'm just telling you. It's how it works. And if you don't know who the perfect girl is, it will bring all the options to you so that you can explore what is the best for you. That's what it will do. And you will find out quick because you have reference experiences. See, a lot of people don't have reference experiences. You don't have a reference experience for a good girl, bad girl, this, that, whatever. You don't even have reference experiences. You may have had the same relationship your whole life, just over and over and over again with different people. If that's the case, you have no reference experiences. You have one relationship. I know you've been with other people, but you have one relationship. It just keeps happening over and over again. You gotta upgrade your relationship challenges. If I come out of a relationship and I know what the issue was in a relationship on my end, the next relationship should not be like that. It shouldn't be like that. And if it turns out like that, I need to face it and say, this that I hate in this relationship is in me, and I decide this is my karma. I accept it, and I'm burning it away by accepting it, and I'm letting it go after it's done. And you let the relationship and the lesson play its course. You learn your lesson and you let it fade out. That's what sometimes you have to do. People not willing to do that. People not willing to do that. People not willing to get the heart broken because you thought that love was enough. Then it wasn't. And now all the ideas that you had about how it's supposed to be are wrong. They're wrong. So now what you do? You have everything is wrong that you thought. So now you in your 30s, you still think you know that it's not right the way you have thought about it, but how are you supposed to think? You can get clarity on that, and that's what I will help you with. If you want real clarity on that, that's what I'll help you with. Because that's one of the most important things to get clarity on. How am I supposed to navigate after I thought one thing my whole life, and now I'm over 30, and it's wrong. Everything I knew is wrong. I'm not attracting the types of people I want. The men in my life are not who I want them to be. I'm not who I want to be. We can help you with that. Okay? Anybody got any questions? Put your name, zodiac sign in the chat. Follow each other. If y'all in here, follow each other. Go ahead and follow each other. What's up, Marsha? Selzer. I don't even know. Y'all probably came here like 12 hours ago. I think I keep seeing you. What's your name? Elisot. Elisot. I don't know how you say your name. But that's my guess. Elisot. Did I do it right? Anybody got any questions? This is really like a masterclass for real. If you are a woman in your 30s, this is masterclass. Because all you're doing is energy vibrating in frequency. All you're doing is making alchemy inside yourself. You're creating a new self through alchemy. You alkalizing your emotions. You are turning the darker emotions into the equivalent golden standard. You are flipping things. When you start flipping energy inside of you, you start flipping negative events and then extracting the gold from it. Because gold it's tied to its opposite. If it's really negative, it's really good. So the gold is always attached to the negative. You got a whole bunch of this. So you got a whole bunch of energy just waiting there, gold just waiting there to be transformed and transmuted into its gold standard. It's waiting on it. Because it's actually yours. It belongs to you because you generated the energy by throwing yourself into your life experience. You have the life experience. You know what you don't want. So you have the gold or the opposite. I could literally talk about this all day. And every single thing that I'm saying is game. If you want to create a person, look, if you want to create a person who's specific to you, you can do it. And it doesn't take a lot. All you have to do is take a piece of paper and write every single thing you can think of on the front side of the page and back side and fill it up as much as you can. Every single thing you can get on the page, write it on that page. Every single thing you can think of. Then the second thing you do is on another page, you write out what kind of person do I have to become? What version of myself do I have to become in order to become a vibrational match to that reality? That's what you do. What kind of person do I have to become? What version of myself do I have to become to create that in my life? What's different? What has to be different? What is never going to happen again? What is my new standard? What am I never going below, and what am I always going to be at now? In whatever it is, make the decision right there. As soon as you make that decision and you write it down, you picture it, and you know what kind of person you having, period, from that day, decisions get very easy. The people you used to tolerate, like, well, it's immediate no's at this point. Nope. I know what I asked for. I know what I'm getting. You're a no. You're a no. You're a no. This is I'll go on a date with you. This is a no. Yes. And it won't even be a verbal yes. It's just a yes. Might be a verbal yes. But anyway, love y'all. Hopefully y'all have a beautiful night. I'll post this on YouTube. Peace.